What's up, y'all? Peace, peace, peace. What's up, what's up, what's up? Oh, you didn't start it, okay.
I was just trying to see if I could see it.
What's up, everybody? It's your man, DVS Imaad. This is Real DVS. Right now, I need everybody to go ahead. And y'all know this beautiful young lady sitting to my left.
Hello, everybody.
Probably
Welcome
on
back.
the right of your screen. This is just Joy. And this is Real DVS again. Hold on, let me pull myself together 2 second style. I just want to make sure that I am with you guys so that I can hold it down in the chat room with you, because I do not want to miss anything. If you are tuning in right now, I would encourage you to share the video. We go, hey Marie, assalamu alaikum.
Hey, Marie.
Yeah, besties. You like the crown?
I was about to say, is it too early to advertise the crown? I don't want to.
No, you can go ahead.
You know what I mean? So, this crown, this lovely leather, I don't know if you guys can see the detail in this couture, custom made. They can't even see the back of it. I don't know if you want. That's what I'm talking about. Marie Thompson, you are amazing. Your talent.
Sweetie's Creations, baby. Sweetie's Creations. I'm telling you. Look, this is one thing that I love about my cipher is that I have everything that I need right here. Marie said, hey, just Joy.
Hey.
I have everything that I need right here. Anything that you need, we probably have it too, so you might want to tune in. Today we are going to have a conversation. What's the matter?
This subject makes me nervous, more nervous than anything.
Maybe sound like somebody let the air out of us.
It's a very touchy subject for me.
Well, first of all, peace to everybody on GS Radio. Peace to everybody who will see this on YouTube. Peace to everybody out there on Facebook. I love, respect, and enjoy each and every one of you. If you are not a member of the Facebook group, I'm Real DVS. It's inspirational stuff in there. Now that infamous DVS group is a different situation. That's for funny stuff.
That's not that.
Yeah, I mean, and one you can find by searching, and the other one you could not find. You gotta like inbox me or something and ask or be invited. It's that type of situation. But we're gonna have a conversation today. As you noticed, if you saw the caption for the video for tonight's show, it is the miseducation of DVS. And the reason that I chose that topic was a conversation that I had this weekend with a friend of mine, because, and I am going to be so very vulnerable, completely uncharacteristic of myself.
Now you understand why I'm over here exhaling, because I get the feeling I too will be more vulnerable than I tend to be.
It's a beautiful thing though. It's a beautiful thing. We're going to have some fun. And we're going to learn some things, and we're going to look at some things from a whole different perspective.
That's for sure.
Because I feel like we need to expand our paradigms when it comes to relationships. And it's just that. That's what we're going to start to do. So because I'm the one who came up with this topic, it was my idea due to my conversation with my friends and their wretchedness and things of that nature, I will be the one who starts off with this most vulnerable situation. But first, let me say hi. What's up to everybody in the chat room? And please, I'll ask you to please share the video. We're still trying to get 1,000 followers on YouTube. I don't even know if I have 100, but there's 3,000 friends that I have on Facebook. All y'all got to do is click a button. Just
one time.
Like the button. You don't have to stay on YouTube and watch everything that I post. You don't have to like everything that I post. Just like the page so that we can get to where we need to be, so that we can take y'all where we're trying to get to. So much love to Marie, Michael Jasper, Victoria, Eve On. I love saying it like that. Eve On.
Hello, Eve.
Lisa Herod. Hey, beautiful. I love you. I miss you. I wish you were down here. DJ Cole Brown and Mama Rosita Green. Hey, Mama. I love you. I miss you. I see you doing your thing in the gym. Keep it up. That's another thing that's one way that we need to start loving ourselves. Speaking of love, we really need to start loving ourselves more in that way. So, we're going to get to this topic, and again, share the video, please. Please share the video. We're going to get to this topic. I'm going to start talking about this situation because it's a little embarrassing to talk about. Actually, no, it's not. Fuck that. So, this was a situation, and I posed this question to a friend of mine that I was having a conversation with over the weekend. It's a current situation, it's an ongoing situation. So it's this person that I'm interested in. And me and this person have known each other for years. We have a history, both romantic and platonic. And I'm at the age now where I'm like, okay, I need to know what this is, because I know what my intentions are, but I don't know if yours are the same. So what I would like to do is for us to get a consensus of what this is, so that I don't put more energy into a direction that you aren't ready to go. That's my thinking. I don't think I probably said all that.
I'm sure you did.
But I said most of that.
Enough of it.
Enough of it. And the reason that I probably didn't say all of it is because I know that my truth is overwhelming for a lot of people. A lot of people can't handle the things that come out of my mouth. The words, the sentiments, the intentions, the truth, the bluntness. A lot of times people are like, oh my God, why did you have to say it like that? Because, and my thing is, it's just the truth. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm not trying to, well, sometimes I am. I'll be real honest. But for the most part, even if my intention is bad, my truth is good. You can count on the fact that I am being honest with you. So even if you take away the way that I said it, you still left with something good. So of course, the way that I say it is on me, but the way that you receive it is on you. That's what communication is. So at any rate, so I did put it out there like, I'm interested in you in this fashion, right? And so I need to know what you would like to do. And what the person said was, I don't want to mess up what we have now, because we're friends, right? So I thought about it.
Friends, okay.
And it's the first time that I really, really thought about it, because it's not the first time that this happened to me. I mean, I've been rejected a multitude of times. So that's not the thing. But my thing has always been this: reject me honestly. And when I say honestly, I don't mean just tell me a truth, because there's the truth and then there is a truth. Now, the truth could contain several truths. You might like to keep our relationship where it is. That could be one thing. But another thing could be, maybe you're just not attracted to me in that way. And in my head, I would really prefer for you to say that to me, if that's what it is. Say that. Because that's how I'll get it. I won't get it if you beat around the bush and say, well, I don't want to ruin what we have now, because in my head, what we have now will only be improved by what we could have later. So the logic doesn't stick to me. So you got to come up with a better argument. You need to come up with a better argument. You have to come up with something that is going to make me, something that I can't refute. Your feelings and the way that you look at me, I can't refute that. That's something that I have to accept. So if you tell me honestly, this is what I mean when I say honestly. If you give it to me honestly, I can accept it. That's me though. I understand that everybody can't do that. I have been told that several times. I understand that words are a powerful, powerful force. Now, when they say sticks and stones can break your bones, but words will never hurt you, that's some bull. That is a lie. Do not ever believe that. If you need to have your kids, if you're telling that to your kids because they dealing with a bully or something, please. That's what I'm talking about, the miseducation when it comes to these things. In the 5th grade, my teacher, Miss Michelle, I'll never forget this woman. This woman, I forget what it was that was going on in the classroom. This woman looked at us and she said, I need y'all to remember sticks and stones. Y'all have all heard sticks and stones can break your bones, but words will never hurt you. She said, well, sticks and stones can break your bones, but words hurt. Words start wars. Words are what are the catalyst to killing people. Many times. Not every time, but many times. Any crime of passion is often preceded by some angry words. So know that your words have power. That being said, I like that exchange of power. I like honest exchange of power. So I can get over the fact if you're not interested in me romantically or whatever that is. I can get over that. Not the issue. Now what I have to examine for myself is being your friend worth it, because you can't speak to me honestly, because that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can't come to me now, this person is telling me like we have this great friendship and they can talk to me about anything, but you can't talk to me about the relationship between you and I. That's the most personal thing. Let's get with that first, and then everything outside of that we can deal with together, even if it's platonically. Because I'll be here for you platonically. The only thing that gives me pause is that you will not say get to what many of us in certain circles call the exact nature. I can only work from the exact nature. We were driving by, anybody who's from Newark, if you've been around since the 70s, in the city of Newark in New Jersey, because I don't know where you guys are seeing. If you've been around in the city of Newark in New Jersey, there is an old, I don't know if it's an apartment complex or development that is abandoned now. It was called the McElroys. The McElroys is now a skeleton of its former glory. It is nothing but brick foundation with empty windows, right? So we drive by there today, and a friend of mine I was with today looks at me and she says, "Wow, isn't that terrible? Like they just let it go. Like that looks horrible." But it's still standing after 40 years of having no one in it. Because the people that built the McElroys knew that if you fortify the inside, that no matter what happens on the outside, your edifice is still going to be standing. They knew that. Which is why that building is still sitting there. Now, there's nothing in it. It has trees growing on the roof. That's how long this building has been abandoned. And it's not a short building. This is like, what, 12 to 15 stories?
At least, yeah.
At least 12 to 15 stories, something like that. And it has trees growing on the roof now. But any developer who comes along and snatches that up, because it's right by a whole hub of transportation and things, and the area is being built up, they'll do well because the foundation is excellent. The foundation, even though it's right next to a train station, the trains still come through there multiple times a day. That foundation isn't rattled up. And that's how I like to build my relationship.
I see where you're going with this.
Boom.
I see what you did there.
Thank you.
I see what you did there.
Hey, Hill, Marina, Andrew Hogan, Linda, what's going on, people? Tony Baker, what's up, everybody? Yes, that's CAU.
You already know.
You go. Let me stop. So it's the foundation that you have to take care of. And where I am now in building relationships with people, and I noticed this, it was, because I read, affirmations from a variety of places, mostly on Facebook now. Everything is electronic, and sidebar. I have people who say, this woman said to me last week, she said, I asked her was she on Facebook. She goes, no, it's too negative.
She knows she picked her own first?
I guess she did.
Oh. And even then,
which was my point.
Unpick them and pick what you see.
Well, when I said that to her, her thing was, well, it's my family. You can unpick those motherfuckers too.
Yeah.
Particularly on social media. I'm not saying in real life.
That's not how any of this works.
I thank you. If you don't have the type of people in your life that are building you up, who are making you feel good, the type of people that you want to have around all the time, the type of people you can call when you have a problem and not just answer the phone when they have a problem. If you don't have those type of people around
in a real life,
yeah, not on social media. I'm not even talking about
life.
Social media. I'm talking about like in here, and you could go knock on their door type situation. If you don't have those type of people in your life, there's something that you need to do. You've got to vibrate higher. It is not for anybody else to do. Because there's a reason those people are around you, is because that's what you're attracting. So you got to look at you. Again, the foundation. We're talking about the foundation of all relationships. Now, I'm talking about a relationship specifically. The way that I chose to start off this cast is with a relationship that I was thinking about entering that would have been a romantic or intimate or committed, whatever you want to call it. It depends on your perspective, I guess. But if you take that if you take that introspection a bit further and apply it to other relationships, because it's not just the romantic relationships you have, and we've talked about on this show, and particularly last week, the relationships with your parents. There's the relationships with your children. If you're not operating in any of those relationships from a standpoint of honesty, I'm not saying, because there are many parents who are like, well, my kids don't need to know everything about my life. I get that. I don't have kids. I'm not going to advise you what to do with your kid. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to offer it to you from a perspective of being a kid, because I'm someone's kid. I prefer to be dealt with from a level of honesty. I'm not saying that a 6-year-old mind is going to comprehend all the things that they need to know at 23 and that you should give them all that information up front. I'm saying you have to gauge what you're saying to your kid and always operate from a perspective of honesty. Even if that honesty is saying, look, I don't feel that you're ready for this right now. The age that I anticipate talking to you is thus and so and thus and so. But if you feel that you're ready, do some research, and if I see that you're taking this research and information that you're getting well, then we can have this conversation. Even if it's from that standpoint where you are saying, look, I don't want to talk about it right now. You're being honest. And even if you don't like the person that you're talking to or in a conversation with, the one thing that you can do is respect their honesty. Mama Zita, I'm gonna fight you for sending me this like right now though. Like for real. I'm gonna fight you. Wait till I see it.
I can see it and I too want to fight you.
I'm gonna fight her.
I can see it.
But anyway, wait, I'm gonna do this in the background. I know y'all here, we got a whole different type of vibe playing in the background. That's why Just Joy is over here.
He tricked me.
I'm
not even playing with you.
She's swaddled right about now.
You gonna come in here with the slow jams? I can't talk about love. I'm talking about going I'm not doing this with you tonight.
Because this was what I was thinking of when the person indicated, like, okay, we have something really good. Why should we stay here? We should stay here.
Like the process? Almost impossible to process?
Something like that. It never made that whole thing never made sense to me. You have to say something different. I'm not the person that you can give the stock answer to.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
It doesn't work with me. But just tell me the whole truth. I don't like the way your face looks.
That thing. Just like you
say
said,
that again. I'm sorry.
I'm not going to continue to maintain whatever that thing was that you thought was good enough.
I can't maintain it because now I don't trust you.
Now you're not good enough.
That too, because that feeling can creep in. Even if I believe you are a good person. Now that was the other thing. Let me put this phone down.
Listen.
Because that was the other thing. That was the other part of the discussion that we delved into when we were talking about relationships the other night. Was this? Another friend of mine, a whole different situation. This is the person I was talking to about this situation. So we got into a conversation and they said, well, what if the person that you're interested in, you know that they, have some issues, but you love them and you know that they love you. I said, okay, so what am I supposed to do? They said, well, would you get to it? No. Not at this age. I'm not saying that I
that's good enough with me, but I'm not sure that's what you want to hear. So I'm like, okay, I'm just listen because that's good enough for me.
It used to be good enough for me. I'm a different person now. They say every 7 years.
Same person than ever, but I'm okay with everything.
Every 7 years, every cell in your body regenerates. So every 7 years, you're not even physiologically the same on a cellular level. Let me say that. On a cellular level, you're not even the same person you were 7 years ago, right? You know what that suggests to me? That change is something that you have to deal with. Whether you embrace it or whatever. Change is something that you're going to have to deal with, right? You know why? Because that's the one constant in the universe. You got to change. Yeah. So, you said that was good enough, right? I want you to talk about why it's good, because there's a lot of people out there who probably feel the same way that you do, and I would love to. This is why, because my friend actually said some things, and you probably are echoing those same sentiments. So I want to hear this. Go ahead, Joy.
Oh, Father. So here's my thing, right? I'm able to say, let's say up until recently, more so than not, it's been enough for me because I'm good. My ratio of wants and needs being met at any given time is good. So at 40 years old, do I need exclusivity? Do I need monogamy? Maybe not as much on my spectrum of needs and wants as I might need consistency or companionship or delicious salmon dinners. I mean, I'm just talking. So it depends on what I want and need and how those wants and needs are being fulfilled. And you also have to keep in mind, and I know you know this, I don't subscribe to a lot of the traditional views on marriage when it comes to monogamy in general. You know, people like to force themselves into that box. But for me, a lot of times, again, up until recently, I'm getting older, and I'm not quite there yet where you sound like you're at. But I'm there in other ways. I'm cool.
What? Why?
Well, because I try to keep all my business to myself, and also
we here now.
I
That's why they make these beautiful pronouns that are ambiguous. And hella. And her, and I mean, you know, hey, do your thug.
I'll say this to your point about your interaction with your new friend.
Which one?
The one that just got automatically demoted to the friend zone, as far as I'm concerned. Almost out of the friend zone, actually. You have to be ready to and unafraid to, whether you know or think it's going to work out, venture into a relationship with somebody. You felt like you was going to be good with that. See how it worked out? Particularly based on research. I've been alright, you know what I'm saying? So why would you think otherwise? And like you said, if you good with this, you know what I'm saying, you might as well supersize it. So I can feel where you're coming from. But if you're not ready for that, you might as well, like you said, say that, get off my train. I don't say it off my train because I just don't, but eliminate yourself from the running, as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
all the way. Not you still gonna be whatever level of friendship you thought you was still gonna get the VIP package and still pay, like we ain't finna do none of that.
Right.
You go from here to cancel this, as far as I'm concerned, because like you said, not only are you not being honest about your feelings and honest in general, but I'm wasting my time.
Yeah.
And you wasting my talent.
Pretty much. That is that.
It's always that.
So to the point of dating someone who I know, look, I'm going to take this for those of you who are scripturists. Let's say that.
My bad. It's time for lunch.
For those of you who believe in the Bible or read it for spiritual enlightenment and believe there are good things in it, whatever your purpose is, there is a phrase in there, evenly yoked. There was a time when I thought the same way you do, and that was okay then. Where I am now, that is not okay. For the reason that it is simply my understanding that if there is some, first of all, before I engage anybody in any type of relationship, platonic or otherwise, I need to know what it is I want from that person. I need to know what I want from me from that person. So if I'm looking for something and they're not able to give it, me entering into a situation with them is going to do a disservice to them. It's going to leave me lacking, which does a disservice to both of us. How can I say that I love you if I enter into a situation that you can't fulfill? And I always had that not because it's not necessarily a conscious expectation, or let me take out expectation, that need. If you can't fulfill that need or that want, that desire, whatever it is that I'm seeking in a person, if you aren't there to bring it, there's no reason for me to enter into this relationship with you. You can be a wonderful person that says nothing about who you are. I just know what it is that I want. So me accepting less than what I want, in my mind, tells the universe that I'm not ready for what it is I actually want. So the first thing I need to do is make up my mind and be clear about what it is that I actually want. And then if I say that that is what I actually want, when somebody shows up giving me less than that, I cannot and will not accept what it is that you're trying to give me. Because that does a disservice to me. First. Second, it does a disservice to you. Because like I said, there's always going to be that thing. There's always going to be that thing. There's going to be that thing that I want that you can't supply. And I'm going to look at you at some point in a relationship, not consciously, but maybe unconsciously. I'm going to look at you and hold you responsible for it. I'm not going to do that to somebody. Again, I've done it. I call it taking somebody hostage. I don't need any hostages. I'm good. I don't need you as a hostage. I would like you to, as an evenly yoked player.
You need to be a hostage.
And I'm not going to be a hostage. We did that dance as well. I like to dance by myself in the corner for most of the night. So we can't do this whole dance where I'm a hostage. I can't do it. I refuse. And I don't want anybody else to do it. I don't want to take anybody else through it. I do believe that it's unfair. It's unfair to me because, again, if I say I know what I want, if I make up my mind, and that's the part that many of us, including myself, that's the part that I find, let me just speak about me, that's the part that I find most difficult, is making up my mind definitively. Because I can say, I like you, but then such and such show up, and I like them.
I was trying to keep my business to myself.
Right.
You know, like, and there was a time when I was like you, and I did all that, right?
It wasn't.
But see, look, you already know.
It was the generic you. It wasn't you specifically.
And it was me specifically. So, right? I'm just like,
right.
Because, like you said, if I consciously decide, okay, I'm gonna put all my effort, energy, and resources into, it almost caught in my throat to say a relationship, to enter into a committed involvement with somebody, you have to make that conscious decision. You have to make it a couple times, if you ask me. But like you said, if you're cool with a certain ratio of other things, that's cool too. And that leaves room for, you know, variety or courtship. That's what I call it. You know what I mean? I'm old school. I like to say courtship because it makes me feel better about myself. But I don't. And it's not that I can't be monogamous, so I don't think it's a cool thing or whatever like that. When people agree on it or whatever and know what that really means, but it's not always necessary for me. I'll speak for myself. There are times, personally, and depending on who I'm dealing with, that's exactly what I'm looking for, and I'm clear about it, like you said, and I'm making it clear to you, and that's what it is. But like you said, it's a spectrum as far as I'm concerned. You make that conscious decision to be in a relationship or pursue something meaningful with somebody, and there's a lot of other things, you know, on the spectrum.
It is. It sure is.
That can be available.
If that is not what you want, that is not what you should make up your mind to do. And if let's flip it. If there's somebody else, let's say I'm not at that point where I want that type of relationship. Somebody else comes along, I'm digging you, this is where I want to be with you. I can't say, well, if I know and hear that is not where I want to be, and I know and hear that is where they want to be, I have no business entering into this situation. None whatsoever. Because again, that need in them, I cannot fulfill. So there is no reason for me to even entertain the notion of a relationship with them, because I know because what they're looking for, I can't give them. It's vice versa. I wouldn't expect anybody to do that. I don't want anybody to do that, because this is the one thing. And for anybody who knows me personally, if you know me personally, you know that I have this thing about time. Time is, I won't say an obsession, but it's a fascination for me. For one, because it's an arbitrary thing. Time only exists here, on this planet. Time doesn't exist anywhere else. We made that up.
How do you know?
What do you mean how do I know?
How do you know time don't exist no place?
We'll have that conversation after the show. So, because it's an arbitrary situation, because it's an arbitrary situation and we dictate these things, I understand why we have time and things like that. I get all that. But know this, everybody's time is shorter. If you're watching this video, from the time I started that sentence till right now, you have less time. And if you are anywhere near my age range, please accept the fact that you are middle-aged or older. You may be past middle age. Think about all the people in your family who passed away. What's the oldest one? Now I'm 40 thing, right? I don't know many people who lived to be 80 anything. Most of them passed away prior to that. That means that I'm at middle age right now. I know I don't look it, but it is what it is. I understand that in the scheme of this time thing that we seem to get up and structure our lives around, there's not as much left as I think. So I'm not going to waste anybody else's time, and I don't expect anybody else to waste my time in that fashion. We can be friends, but I would like to be friends with as much open and honest communication. You can be bluntly honest with me and say, get right to the heart of the matter. I would appreciate it because it saves time. See what I did there? Did you like that?
I do, and you know, we're talking about that situation and intimate ones, but it's taking me back to a situation personally with someone I love and care for very dearly. I often try to answer her questions concisely. I think, okay, this is what you're asking me, but I know that's not quite what it is you want to know. So I'm trying to get to the heart of the matter so I can give you the heart of the answer, right? So it doesn't take us 4 or 5 questions, 3, 4 minutes. No shade, like it's not that I don't want to talk about, like, but if I can get to what you really want to know faster, we both good. Like I don't understand. It doesn't always come across like that.
Right.
To me, it comes out. You already know, like, well, okay. But it's like, again, for me, I didn't even know I was a time saver. I'm just like, I'm trying to get to the heart of the matter.
Well, time saver and impatient can look alike.
Oh yeah, they cousins. I met both of them at the cookout 2 years ago.
Yeah, but the other thing is with I've learned, because I'm the same way, I've learned to ask people, what's the exact nature of what you're trying to say?
You trying to get me slapped?
No, I'm just because it's the most honest thing.
Like when I'm trying to get to the heart of the day, just
it's the most honest thing that I can think to ask you, and like you said, it's not shade. It's not me trying to be facetious. It's not me trying to rush you off of this out of this conversation. It's none of that. I would really just like to know what it is you're trying to say without all these extra words. Anybody else who knows me knows I have this thing with words, and this might be a sidebar situation. And I hope that I don't use up the rest of the show with this bull crap right here, but it is a thing with me. If you are in conversation with me and you are using a lot of extra words, please get out of the conversation with me. I hate you right then and there. I don't need those extra words. I understand English and a few other languages. I would really like you to just tell me what it is you're trying to say in the shortest form possible.
I tell you the same thing. I got too many student loans for this.
For real, if English is not your grasping situation, like it takes you a while, Google it first and then get back to me. Like you can email it, you can text it, like however that works for you. But I would really like it in the shortest form possible, in the most concise form. Obviously, with the most information that covers the entire situation. Like, there are some people who will say they lead with this, and you're like, okay, well, is that what it's about? Well, no. What I'm asking you really is, could you, they'll say, well, yeah, I'm off today, and I had this, and this to do. Oh, okay, well, that sounds fun. Good luck. Well, what I'm really trying to ask you for a ride.
What about what you
should have led with that. You should have led with that.
And I love you. I love you. I want to answer your question.
I would love to.
The answer's not going to change, but
if you give me more
let
words.
me help you get to the heart of the matter. In the spirit of love, I love you so much, lady.
Let's say you like the crown. Let's say it's like, yes, crown. You're an old crone. Did you say I'm an old crone and proud of me? Yes. Listen. Relationships are the thing on the planet that we need to learn to navigate and negotiate as best as possible, because there's something that's pretty much unavoidable. It's pretty hard to not have any type of relationship with somebody as long as you're on this planet breathing. So
it's very hard.
That being the case, it's worth the effort to know enough about yourself and what you want from the people that you involve in your circle, because realize this, first of all, the people who you have around you are a reflection of you. And I'm not just talking about, birds of a feather flock together type of thing. I'm talking about deep-rooted, deep-seated situations. I bet you if you talk to some of your friends that you haven't really gotten gut level honest with, y'all find out y'all got some of the same backstories. It's that whole attraction. And you probably didn't even realize it. And I'm going to say this as well. The thing in them, and that friend, even if particularly if they're your friend, that thing that gnaws at you and drives you crazy is the thing in you that drives you crazy. That's why it's driving you crazy about them.
But on the flip side of that, I want to jump in, Kanye. Mm-hmm. My thing is, I try to kind of invert that same philosophy to someone recently. When you see something attractive in someone that you like, that you love, a quality, a characteristic, a beauty, or whatever, an aesthetic, that's also a reflection of you.
It is.
So keep that in mind. It's not Absolutely. Just, you attract crazy, you attract this,
you attract what you are. That's why I started off.
Wonderful, and you can attract, those things and whatever you're looking for out there.
That's why I started off saying you attract your friends, the people that you keep around you are a reflection of you. Good, bad, or indifferent. Thank you. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Yin and yang.
All day, baby. I said, well, your crown is always on. So listen, but yeah. You're the people in your cipher, the people that you talk to the most, those are the people who reflect you. And that thing about that, that girlfriend that you kiki with, but she get on your nerves because every time such and such happens, she always there's something about you that identifies with that. That's why it's gnawing at you. Which is why it's necessary to do the work to know you, so that when that type of situation, that type of feeling pops up, you'll know where it's coming from. Because that's a whole other block in your relationship. That's a whole other disconnect where you're not loving you first, and then the opposition that happens in the relationship, because you're not recognizing that it's something in you that you see in her or him or whomever. And then what happens is
shout out to they
and them. What happens is you start to get a resentment and treat them differently based on that behavior or the manifestation of whatever it is you're identifying with. And once that happens, because you don't recognize it in you, you see it in them, you don't like it, so now you're treating them differently. But basically what it is you mad that they exhibiting the same type of stuff that you mad about in you.
You mad at you.
You got to do the work. You have to do some of this work to find out before you end up involving people in your bullshit. I've been trying to do this whole show without.
You've done wonderfully.
I think I did pretty good because I think it's like I don't want people to be turned off by the language because I need them to hear the message. I don't want them to, because I cuss a lot. I like it. It feels good in my mouth, and I'm not going to apologize for it because I was told in college by my not my philosophy professor, my psychology advisor. We were told our freshman year that the English language has some very good 4-letter words, and don't be afraid to use them in our papers and in our language because they're powerful and they're poignant and they get to the point. And since my freshman year in college, I cuss a lot. Or enough, anyway. But anyway, that was another sidebar. But what I'm saying is this is so necessary. This is part of loving. A lot of us have been miseducated when it comes to loving. We think that, I'm keeping on me. I was raised to believe. And I'm not saying that I was raised that somebody said, well, you gotta love people even if they doing this, that, and the third. No. But it was, I was raised by people who love people through everything. Through difficulty. through, despite, in spite,
That could be
with
different.
spite.
A lot of these people think they gotta love through. Like I got a problem
And I don't.
with these
At
love
this
through people.
time,
sorry.
I'm not gonna say at this age. I'm gonna say at this time in my life, at this point in my life. That's even better. At this point in my life, I no longer subscribe to that philosophy. I do believe that you should love people through things. That I do believe. But I don't believe that loving them through something necessarily means that I have to caretake them through it, or that I have to be codependent in the situation, or that I have to enable them in bad behavior as a way of trying to manifest the love. I think sometimes cutting off any type of aid
You over here quid pro quo with people? You cutting off aid to people?
Listen,
I
there
can't.
will be an embargo.
I
There are
cannot.
sanctions.
You will quid pro. That's why I'm so sorry.
No, they're that because my thing is anytime a friend of mine and I was speaking today. Another friend of mine. I have a lot of friends and I'm very, very grateful. Another friend of mine once told me that you can't have too many friends. So thank you, Gail Price. I didn't mean to put your whole name out there, but you're on Facebook. So
Thank you for being a friend.
I probably might tag you later, and that's why I'm tagging you and saying your name because she was a great, she still is a great mentor to me in many ways. And she said to me, you can't never have too many friends, but you don't have to be around all them MFs all the time. Those are my words, not hers. But I think I lost my train of thought. Where was I?
She said you can't have too many friends.
Before that. Brain fart. Pause. Can't remember. Oh, I was talking about growing up, loving people through stuff. Thank you. There we go. So sometimes I believe we were talking about embargo. That's what it was. Sanctions and embargoes. Sometimes, you know, the saying, "You don't wish your water till the well runs dry." Very simple cliches like that pull me back into focus because when I was John and Ellen, there was a program where I met this young lady 100 billion years ago. She's not that old. I am. But and one of the directors of the program, I was having some family issues and I was telling them like I need to take off work to go do something, and they asked me a very simple question. John.
I'm sure.
John looked at me and said, "What would your family do if you weren't there?" I was raised in a family where we show up regardless. If you are physically in the vicinity and physically able, you show up. That's just what we do. So when he said that to me, it was such a foreign concept. I was like, "What do you mean? What? I have no idea what they would do because I'm there."
We don't have to cross that bridge.
We don't have to do that. And he said, if you weren't there, they would be fine. They will find another way to do it. You don't have to do it.
And I bet that sounded offensive at first.
It did.
I know it did.
I was like, who are you talking to? You don't look. See, this is the problem. See, that's the problem with y'all white people. Y'all really don't understand us. Like, y'all, how you gonna tell me that? Like, that's my family. You cannot tell me that I am not supposed to show up for my family.
Show up for me.
That don't make no sense. Like, see, that's why your cousins never call you. That's why I never hear about you hanging with your brothers. That's why, I was in my feelings about it. And I took off. And did what my family asked me to do. And it's not until almost 30 years later that I'm realizing that they were exactly right. Because they were the age then that I am now. It is simply that. If you don't do it, somebody else will. Now, I know a lot of you think that about your jobs. Oh, if I don't show up, they're going to get it done anyway. That's true of every place else just about in your life, too. Save for like parents or something like that. Those are irreplaceable. You only get one set. Just about every place else, you might be a commodity, but you are not an irreplaceable commodity. But the thing is, you have to treat yourself like you're an irreplaceable commodity. And when you act as if you're attainable anywhere, you are no longer a commodity. When you're on every shelf, when you're on every set, when you're everywhere doing everything with everybody. And for my house music heads, that's why we don't respect our house music artists here. They're here to try to support us, and we take them for granted. That's even more reasons. When the Kenny Bobians and Barbara Tuckers and the New Jersey house heads and things like that, when they have parties here, it should be jam-packed. There shouldn't be space in, it should be standing room only, because they're tri-state area artists. And this is where we are. We're always talking about expanding and loving the scene, and it's supposed to be this, and we don't show that. Our actions don't necessarily follow our thoughts and sentiments and words sometimes. And I get, somebody said to me on social media once, because I made a statement about people, you know, posting all these super inspirations. So I take back my self-respect, I take back my dignity, I take back my time. Like Auntie Maxine said, I'm taking back my motherfucking time.
Reclaim.
And what that means is that's not from anybody. That just means that I'm claiming it as my own in a way where I am using it fully to recognize the things that I should have done in concentration, or not should have done, because I'm not going to should on myself, but that I could have done many years ago. I don't know if that's an omen. Is that a... Yeah, I think we can go ahead and just about get out of here. It wasn't a full hour. I find it so cathartic.
I'm so.
And I know you sat over there quiet most of the time.
You know what?
To give up your business.
But I gave enough of it.
You gave enough of it up. It's all right. I thank you.
And that's me in general. I like to keep my business to myself, but I also am a Capricorn, and I move a lot, and I move around a lot. And people see me, they think they know how I live because they think they see how I move. And people probably wouldn't necessarily peg me for the type to love people and get in relationships with them, because like I said, they see me ever so often with different people, and I believe in courting because, again, you know, I'm the queen, right? I'm the prize, right? So you can't just get me, and that's not how that works. So to come on the show and talk about love was interesting in general because I don't talk about love in general with a lot of people, even when I love them. So, you know, I'm doing better now at 40 years old, but there was a time, even when I was married, that I loved a woman and didn't tell her that or show her that. So, you know, me and love, we're just getting to know each other a little bit better the older I get. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Not because like nothing ever happened. I promise y'all I'm like healed and happy. Y'all ain't gotta worry about it, like I'm good. But just I took my time even trying to get to know this love situation. You know what I mean? Like I've been good a long time. You know, kind of the way I was moving. That's what we say. I'm old now. I'm slowly coming around the bend. I see where you at with yours. I'm seeing you over there. I'm not quite there, but I can see where you at.
Listen, all flowers don't bloom at the same time. So I gotta respect your bloom. You respect mine.
Why? Because see, that's the reflection of, that's what I was talking about. Remember that?
Yeah, we been talking about that earlier. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you once again. I'm DVS Imaad, and
it's your girl Just Joy. Thanks for tuning in. Like my man DVS said earlier, please like and share the video. It is your responsibility. If you want to continue to see us bringing fabulous shows, kicking and like that, we need these likes. I'm not really asking you, I'm mostly telling you. If you're a friend and you got nothing else to do, you click, you like the show, you watching us. Watch with one finger, watch the button, tap it one good time. Thank you so much.
Yes, please do. And let it play in the background, whatever it is. Just subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's I'm Real Devious on YouTube. I'm Real Devious at gmail.com. I'm Real Devious on Facebook. I'm Real Devious on Instagram. I'm Real Devious on Twitter. I'm Real Devious is the name of the show, in case you missed that. So I thank you once again for watching. I love y'all. Y'all know I do. I want to send a shout out though to Barbara Tucker, B-Star Music, to DJ Q. I thank you guys for having me once again on the show last night. It was freaking amazing. Shout out to Kenny Bobian and Stefan. I forgot his last name. He sings Break for Love. Break.
For love. Yeah, dude was there last night. He did his thing. Stefan Johnson. Johnson? Or was it Robinson? There's a lot of Stefans. I apologize if I butchered your name, brother. It's no disrespect. I had a great time with you guys last night.
Humble party coming up.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna get to that. But shout out to B-Star Music, to Fred, and everybody else there. I gotta get to know you guys' names. I'm terrible with names. But again, I had a wonderful time. Shout out to Q's mom. Had fun dancing with you. Q is like 10 years older than me, and his mother still goes out to the club.
Older than you.
Right, listen, and she still gets her thing in. She came right out on the dance floor. It was like, and most of y'all watching, y'all know Q, DJ Q with Barbara Tucker, and y'all know his mom. She's a wonderful woman. She was there last night. So if you haven't seen it, I think I shared it earlier on my page, the video from last night's interview. So please check that out with Kenny and Stefan and Barbara. Barbara is the interviewer. So it's a great thing. And Barbara performed last night. Stefan and Kenny performed last night. It was absolutely amazing. Shout out to Terrell for coming and Constance for coming. I appreciate you guys for hiking all the way. Well, Terrell, you live in Brooklyn, but Connie for hiking in Brooklyn with me. Humble Beginnings is coming up. Okay. Humble Beginnings, the second Saturday in December. This is our season of giving still. The annual toy drive is this coming party. So if you have a toy for a young boy or girl, you don't have to wrap it. Just bring it to 30 Maple Avenue in Montclair. The second Saturday, it's party time. So you want to get there anywhere after 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Full dinner, drinks are included with your entry price, which is $20. So all you can drink and dinner is included for $20. You cannot beat that. The Beat Brothers are playing. And if your birthday is in December, come and celebrate your birthday. Just hit up Anita Tilly on Facebook, and you can inbox her on Facebook, and you can let her know that your birthday is in December, and your name will be on the cake. Your entry is free into the party for the month for your birthday. That's your birthday gift from us. And tell your friends to come. You got a whole party already waiting for you. You can't beat that. So, and just where you had something?
I wanted to mention, kind of announce Financial Boss. Shout out to Keshem Latif Holland. I know I gave you the whole government, but that's so that people can reach out to you on Facebook. Shout out to Keshem. Keshem has a 3-workshop series coming up on financial literacy starting this Tuesday, I want to say, December 3rd. It's going to be at the Newark Public Library in the LGBTQ Center starting at 5 o'clock. Budgeting, spending, and I want to say credit repair, but don't quote me on that. The short version is, before you spend all your money this Christmas and go broke and end up in landlord-tenant court in January, please come to this workshop series, 3 weeks. It will be the first 3 Tuesdays in the month of December. Again, it's at Newark Public Library starting on December 3rd, 5 o'clock. Come learn how to keep your money, how to save your money, how to grow your money. We don't have to walk into 2020 being broke. Shout out to Keshem. This workshop series is for adults, but he also does workshops for children and young adults. So again, if you can come out and see us on Tuesday, December 3rd at the LGBTQ Center, please do learn how to keep your cash.
Absolutely. So once again, I want to thank you guys. Shout out once again to Marie, Sweetie's Creations. You can hit her up on Facebook, Marie Thompson on Facebook. If you need a crown, I think all kings and queens.
I'm saying to myself,
should
it's
have
going to be
a
a J right here, a JJ for just
okay,
joy with
listen, get it poppin'. She in her crochet shit.
I want some Swarovskis.
And why did she ask me? She was like, "Do you want something like jewels?" Or girl, if you don't get off my damn phone with that.
Put them on mine.
Yeah, Marie. She might need that.
But I need an extra large because my
doing that.
The way my
just get the tape. Well, we'll talk. So once again, I want to thank you guys. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. All you do is push the button subscribe. You don't have to subscribe to the notifications if that's not your thing or whatever. Just subscribe to the channel, and then please ask one of your friends to subscribe to the channel. I just need 1,000 of y'all, or 500 of y'all, and 500 of y'all friends. Just subscribe to the channel. Do it under different email addresses because I know each of y'all got 7. So go to each one of y'all email addresses and go to each one of y'all YouTube channels and just subscribe for me, please. Thank you. And with that, we are out of here. I hope that, okay.
So sorry, last one. Saturday, December 7th, Empress Light is sponsoring a brunch and greet for her initiative that's called Den of Mothers. It's a single mother support and empowerment group. On December 7th, Saturday, we'll be having a brunch and greet here at Tech World, 400 Hawthorne Avenue, starting at 11 a.m. in the Reverend Ron Lounge. I will be posting a flyer and some more information. But if you know a single mom, if you are a single mom, if you work for any agencies, your church, your masjid, please spread the word. We're provided a safe space to connect, to talk, and kind of again, empower, support, and just kind of hang out with each other. There's a lot to being a parent, particularly a single parent, particularly in North. So shout out to Empress Light, our sis here at the show.
Absolutely.
For her initiative, Den of Mothers, Saturday, December 7th, 11 a.m. here at Tech World, 400 Hawthorne Avenue. I think I'm done.
Absolutely. She is amazing. I love her. So shout out to Empress. I can't wait to meet you again. Could you come on back down here, please?
The seat's waiting for you.
So,
you can have my seat, Paula. I mean, like, for her to sit in the middle. Like, she can't come. She cannot have my seat. We could switch seats. Like, let's sit. No, never.
She come up missing, y'all. This thing.
When the last time I came up missing? Nah, never.
When the last time?
From you?
No, not for me.
Oh, that's what I know. I never come up missing from you.
Okay. So, we about to get out of here. We really gonna get out of here. We was just, bugging out. But I want to thank you guys for watching, and be conscious of the things that you think. Those are the things that manifest in your life. Please be conscious of the things that you think. Those are the things that will manifest in your life. So if you're holding two different thoughts about two different people, that's why both of them keep showing up and disappearing.
Voila.
Know that.
Magic.
Yeah. So as you walk through this life, if you happen to stumble and fall, just remember that the harder you fall, the higher you bounce. Remember that when you're tripping. I'm DVS Imaad. This is Just Joy.
Good night.
And this is I'm Real Devious. We out of here. Oh, come on. It always wants to act funny.